The Presbyterian Church of Dover welcomes you to our Remembrance Garden, a memorial for Delaware COVID-19 victims. Our goal is to provide a peaceful space for reflection, healing, and prayer as we remember the over 1,600 Delawareans who died from COVID-19. Our memorial tells the story that we call the light at the end of COVID-19's long, dark tunnel. Entering the garden, one quickly notices the large stacks of painted tubes lined across the back of the yard. Each tube represents a person from Delaware who has died from COVID. The tubes are arranged by months and painted the color of each month's birthstone gem. Each tube has a light, reminding us of the light each person shared with the world and of the lights lost as the death toll rose. The story began in March 2020 when a global pandemic was declared, non-essential services were shut down, the country went into quarantine, churches were forced to learn new ways of worshiping together. The virus was not a respecter of people, moving across all aspects of our society. Still, we believe that the threat would quickly pass and life would soon return to normal. So we bowed in prayer before God, asking for God's protection. It was at this time that life changed for all of us. One might recall how quickly the virus spread. In Delaware, we saw a quick rise from 12 deaths in March to 200 deaths in April and 222 in May. As we learned more about how the virus was transmitted and how to better contain it through the use of face masks, frequent hand washing, using hand sanitizer, and practicing social distancing, we saw the number of deaths drop. In June, 69 people died. In July, 32, then further dropping in August to 19. Unfortunately, beginning in September, many dropped their guard and deaths began to spike again, with 37 deaths in September, 83 deaths in October, and 85 people died in November. The highest numbers followed the holiday seasons of Thanksgiving and Christmas, when the deaths reached 264 in December, and January with the highest total of the pandemic with 309. In February, as the vaccine has now been released, the numbers began to drop with only 139 deaths. As March rolls in, the vaccine was more widely distributed and the deaths began to drop dramatically, with 53 in March, 34 in April, and 12 through most of May. For many, the sorrow and grief of the pandemic caused them to fall before the Lord in prayer, pleading for an end to all the suffering and death, for comfort in the midst of their unbearable grief. Now, after more than 15 months, we have hope that the end is near. Perhaps God will now turn our mourning into dancing. This brings us to the end of our story. We are now able to raise our hands in praise to God and be together once again with family and friends. We are grateful for the many people who served our community in so many ways during the pandemic. We rejoice with those who have recovered from COVID and continue to pray for those who have ongoing struggles. We encourage you to take a Post-it note that is provided and write a message, perhaps remembering a lost loved one, or a poem, or a prayer, and place it inside one of the tubes so that we as a community can be thinking of that person. If you're able to visit the memorial at night, you will see the light shining out from the tubes. May this serve as a reminder of the lives that have been lost, but also a reminder that their stories live on in our remembrances. May it also give you hope as we have traveled through the dark tunnel of COVID-19 and now see the light before us. From the Presbyterian Church of Dover, may God bless you and keep you.